Hello Year 7 and Year 8 svivot Madrichim, and welcome to Bnei Akiva's Bnei Mitzvah program. Over the next 5 weeks, you guys are going to be taking a break from regular svivot to guide your chinuchim through some ideas and lessons that are unbelievably important at this stage in their life. The program will hopefully be different from anything your chinuchim will be getting anywhere else in the following 3 ways. Firstly, the program you guys are going to be running is mixed. Whether your chinuchim are turning bar or bat mitzvah will be irrelevant when it comes to what you're going to be learning about with them. Secondly, the topics you're going to cover with your chinuchim are mature and ideological. Your chinuchim aren't going to be learning about how to lane or bake challah. They're going to be engaged in meaningful conversations with you about some things that we at Bnei Akiva think are really relevant when it comes to Jewish identity and Jewish life at that age. The ideas are relevant for 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds and beyond, no matter what stage chinuchim may be at in terms of their identity development. And as a result, the program's open to anyone in Year 7 or Year 8, whether they've had their Bnei Mitzvah ceremonies or not. Finally, and most importantly, what will distinguish this Bnei Mitzvah program is that it will be run by you guys, the Madrichim. You have amazing kasharim that you've already made with your chinuchim for the first 2/3 of this year, and this program is a great chance to build on those relationships. You guys are the people that have most recently gone through the experiences your chinuchim are going to go through over the next 5 years. In a certain way, that makes you more equipped than anyone else to be teaching this stuff, because you've gone through it most recently. Now, my first thought if I were a Year 13 Madrich or Madricha at this point would be, well, okay, this sounds like actually quite a lot of responsibility. Is my rock sure that they put me with the right year group? And the answer is yes, they did. And Adi, myself, and Yeroshim have every faith that you're going to do a great job with this. You don't need to have a Lubavitcher Rebbe level of knowledge in order to run the next 5 weeks smoothly. You just need to be willing to learn as much as possible, to teach as much as possible, and to form meaningful relationships with your chinuchim. Some of the more mature themes in the Chovrot might also seem a bit daunting to discuss with your chinuchim. My advice would be just to dive in. Open the program this Shabbat by setting a slightly more serious tone than regular svivot. Find a slightly quieter room in your shul to run these 5 sessions, and hopefully your chinuchim will respond well. Okay, before I finish, here's a whistle-stop tour of the next 5 weeks. So in week 1, we're going to be looking at what it means to be Bnei Mitzvah, what happens emotionally at that age viewed from a spiritual perspective, and how mitzvot and halacha can be viewed within that context. In week 2, we look at how your chinuchim can balance and maintain their Jewish identities in today's modern world. We look at some of the challenges, but also some of the opportunities that the 21st century brings us. In week 3, you're going to be exploring family and communal values with your chinuchim, as well as the things that can undermine them. In week 4, you're going to be channeling all of your chinuchim's energy into thinking about leadership and responsibility growing up. Finally, in week 5, you're going to focus on reflecting and actualizing everything you've learned about with your chinuchim. Hopefully by the end of it, your chinuchim will feel like they're a bit more set up venturing into today's world, and that they can come to you in the future if they ever want to talk about any of these topics in a bit more detail. Hopefully you guys will feel like you've learned something too, and please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Adi if you have any suggestions or want any help putting the next 5 weeks into action in your local shul. Shabbat Shalom.